My book, End of Eden, is basically about the fact that around about the year 1500 BC, 3,500 years ago, monotheistic or one God religions started appearing all around the world at approximately the same time. It is something that many researchers seem to have, I wouldn't necessarily ignored, but seem to have assumed that, well, people tend to do things at the same time. It's like you get cave paintings appearing at about the same time throughout the world, and you get this happening and that happening around the same time. But why suddenly around 1500 BC you've got monotheistic religions all appearing roughly at the same time around the world is something of a mystery that's never really been fully explained. But that isn't the greatest mystery of all. The really big mystery is that this new God... Let me just give you some examples. In Egypt, it was the reign of Thutmose III, and suddenly a new god came into existence called the Aten. Now, it wasn't for about 150 years until this god became really important in its own right and was established as like the one god state religion of Egypt by the pharaoh Akhenaten, which means the son of the Aten, who was actually really called Amenhotep IV, but that's another story. But this Aten religion, which basically believed in one god and all the others were just false, started around 1500 BC. In China, I won't bore you with all the details, but they started having a one god religion. The Olmecs in Central America suddenly for a while started experimenting with a one-God religion. The period that, if you really look at the Bible and study it in a kind of halfway sensible chronological way, you will find that the period that the Israelites really first seem to be adopting a single God is around about the year 1500 BC. Now, okay, you're saying, well, maybe there's like some communication between them. Not really, not between China, the Middle East, not between the Middle East and the Olmecs in Central America. But what makes it more weird still, is that English? More weird still? More weirder. Weirder stiller, is the fact that nearly all these civilizations started representing this God in the same way. Now, mostly throughout the world, gods were depicted as either animal-headed gods or strange-looking human beings with wings or whatever. But suddenly, throughout the world, in China, in Egypt, the Hittite Empire, which is basically what's now Turkey, Assyria, the Mesopotamia area, in now what's Iraq, and in the Olmec area of Mexico, all these religions started depicting their new one god as what is often described as a winged or flying disc. A circle with wings to either side, or a circle with a number of lines coming from it, known as a rayed disc. Now, what anthropologists tend to tell you is, well, this suddenly is the time when people started worshipping the sun. These winged discs, this rayed disc, it's the sun. Now, many of you may be familiar with the Aten sun-rayed disc that Akhenaten started to worship in around about 1350, 1360 BC. It's a circle, and it's got a lot of lines coming out from it. It's actually shown on Tutankhamun's tomb, because Tutankhamun seems to have been Akhenaten's successor. And he, for a while, followed this same religion, believing in this one god, the Aten.